In the world of professional sports, few things threaten credibility more than gambling. With issues like point-shaving scandals and referee manipulation in its past, the NBA has spent decades trying to distance itself from betting. But in recent years, that stance has completely changed. Today, sportsbooks are integrated into broadcasts, betting odds are displayed during games, and partnerships with gambling companies are on full display during ad breaks. Players are getting caught in betting scandals, questions about game integrity are rising, and a growing number of fans are beginning to wonder whether the league is prioritizing profits over the purity of the game. In this video, we will discuss how the NBA went from banning gambling to fully embracing it, player controversy linked to gambling, and what the league's relationship with gambling means for the future of the sport. For decades, the NBA kept its distance from gambling, concerned about how betting could affect the integrity of the sport. Despite those efforts, gambling scandals still found their way into basketball, sometimes involving referees, sometimes involving players, and sometimes raising questions that have never been fully answered. Perhaps the most well-known case is the Tim Donaghy scandal. Donaghy, who was a veteran NBA referee, was convicted of betting on NBA games through his ties to high-stakes gamblers. He also admitted to providing inside information to gamblers, raising concerns about how a single referee could play a role in the game's outcome. His advantage came from knowing which referees had personal biases against certain players or teams, how officiating crews were assigned, and what type of calls were likely to be emphasized in a given game. By sharing this information, he helped gamblers make more accurate bets. The NBA maintained that this was an isolated incident, but the case sparked larger discussions about transparency and officiating. Beyond Donaghy, other situations have led to speculation about whether gambling had any influence on game results. One of the most debated moments in NBA history is Game 6 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals between the Sacramento Kings and Los Angeles Lakers. That game saw an unusually high number of fouls called in favor of the Lakers, leading some, including Donaghy himself, to suggest that the league might have had an interest in extending the series to a Game 7. While no definitive proof of wrongdoing emerged, it remains one of the most scrutinized games in NBA history. These incidents highlight the challenges leagues face when it comes to ensuring fair play while navigating the realities of sports betting. The NBA took a strong stance against betting for years, but that position has shifted dramatically in recent times. Now, it's actively promoted, which raises the question, how did we get here? In 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, or PASPA.
The U.S. Supreme Court struck down a federal law on Monday that effectively banned sports gambling in most of the U.S.
A law that had previously restricted sports betting to a few states like Nevada. This ruling opened the door for states to legalize sports gambling, and the NBA saw an opportunity rather than a threat. Within months, the league partnered with major sportsbooks like FanDuel, DraftKings, and MGM, making betting an official part of the NBA experience. Soon, betting lines were displayed on broadcast, gambling ads ran during games, and NBA arenas even having sportsbook lounges built inside. Commissioner Adam Silver had been pushing for the shift for years. Even before the Supreme Court ruling, he wrote a 2018 op-ed in the New York Times arguing that legalizing and regulating sports betting would be better for the integrity of the game. His reasoning? Betting was already happening illegally, and by bringing it into the open, the league could monitor and control it. But while the NBA had benefited financially from the embrace of gambling, the shift has also raised concerns. Some critics argue that by making gambling so accessible, the league is creating an environment where players, referees, and even fans can be more susceptible to match fixing, insider betting, and other forms of corruption. And recent scandals have only added to these fears. Players getting caught in betting scandals. In April 2024, Jontay Porter, a forward for the Toronto Raptors, was placed under investigation for betting irregularities. This case raised serious concerns because Porter had exited multiple games early due to what he claimed were injuries. However, those same games had suspiciously high betting activity on prop bets related to his performance. Prop bets, also known as player-specific wagers, are some of the easiest markets to manipulate. A player doesn't have to throw a game or make an obvious mistake. They just need to underperform in a specific way, such as taking fewer shots or checking out of a game early. Porter's case isn't the first time gambling concerns have surrounded NBA players. In the early 2000s, former player Jay Williams admitted that teammates used to talk about how easy it would be to manipulate prop bets, especially for things like first player to commit a turnover or miss a free throw. Nowadays, you can't scroll through social media during a game without seeing gambling and its terminology dominating the conversation. Along with that, players are being harassed online, not because of poor performance per se, but because they didn't help somebody win a bet. Players like Kevin Durant have had numerous back and forths with fans online just because they failed to score that extra bucket or hit a rebound line. Currently, the relationship between fans and athletes is being reshaped by gambling, and it's not looking like it's going in a healthy direction. So where does the NBA go from here? The league has positioned itself as a leader in the new era of sports betting, but now it faces a critical question. How far is too far? Can the NBA strike a balance between embracing this new revenue stream and protecting the integrity of the game? Can it educate fans without oversaturating them? Can it protect its players without limiting fan engagement? Some have called for stricter controls on prop bets. Others have suggested blackout periods or better moderation of gambling promotions during family broadcasts. The truth is, there is no easy answer. But one thing is clear, gambling is now part of the NBA's identity. How the league handles that power will shape the next generation of basketball. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this.